Hello, and thank you for clicking on my example video to see what your directions are for this assignment on Wednesday. So I'm trying to keep it as non-digital as possible, meaning that you finally don't have to complete another Google Slides today, and instead you can do some work on paper. So the materials you'll need are paper, pencil, and then dice. Now there is an option if you click on the directions to use some digital dice. That might be a good option for you if you only have like a standard 6-sided dice and you want to use something a little more variable. I've got a lot of different dice. I mean, I have 6-sided dice, I have 10-sided dice, I have dice that go by 10s to the hundreds. So I have a lot of different sided dice. I have a 20-sided dice. It's heavy. So I'm going to use probably, I think I have a 12-sided dice here, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to use my 12-sided dice. I'm going to move the other ones to the side. And I'm going to roll this dice 25 times and record the number that it lands on. But first I need to create a frequency table. So this is what you are doing on your sheet of paper as well. You need to create a frequency table . Frequency table, dice rolls. So what this table needs on it is that it needs to have all the options that I could do. Now, I could land anywhere between 1 and 12, right? Now, if I used this dice, it would be different. I could land anywhere between 1 and 20. That's why I'm not using this dice. So by using this dice, I guarantee that I'll land between 1 and 12. So I need to create options 1 to 12. Oop. I need to make it a little bit longer because I need to add in my label there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Barely fit. Okay. Go ahead. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And this is the dice number. That's the dice number. That's the roll, right? And then the bottom is the frequency. And that's the number of times I landed on that number. So let's start. Let's do this. 1. So sit as a 9. 2. 3. And again. 4. Oh, rolled off the table, but again. 5. Oh my gosh, seriously. 6. This is weird. 7. There we go. 8. 9. 10. There we go. 11. Oh, this takes a long time. 5. 12. Halfway-ish. 13. 14. 15. Oh, we'll roll it again. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. Oops, I didn't do anything. 21. So close. 22. 23. 24. And 25. Okay. So, I have all my data. I I rolled 25 times. I mean, if we wanted, we could check to make sure. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 3 is 8, plus 3 is 11, plus 4 is 15, plus 2 is 17, plus 2 is 19, plus, oh, maybe I have one extra. Let me start over. 2, that's 5, 8, 11, 15, 17, 19, and it would be a 23, 24, 25. Oh, no, that's fine. Whew, I was miscounting. So it happens when you record a video late. Okay, we're good. 25. I want to make sure you didn't over-calculate one. Or under. And so now the directions, if we go back to looking at our lesson plan, the directions were to create a frequency table and then a bar graph. Okay, so we have our frequency table done. I mean, you created your frequency table as you were doing it. And if you remember on Monday, creating a bar graph is super easy. You just need a y and an x-axis. Hopefully your x-axis more straight than mine. You can title it Dice Roll Frequency. Dice Roll Frequency, and then we'll have number on dice, aka the number of the roll, right? Same thing from here. Dice number on dice, it's the same thing. And then we'll have the frequency. And if you want, you can explain number of times, it's weird to say number of times on that number. Number of times, we'll leave it at that. Frequency is the number of times it rolled onto that number of the dice, onto that specific one. Okay, so we are going to then have to make 1 through 12, each their own section here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, running out of room, 11, every time. Gotta extend my bar graph a little bit. And 12, we're gonna have some really skinny bars. And then if we look, our frequency, what was the highest number I had that it repeated, that it rolled onto? What's my highest frequency number from this data? It's a 4. So I didn't even roll the same number like 5 or 6 times. The most I ever rolled a number was 4 times. So really, you only need your data to go up 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1. I rolled it 2 times. It's a little tiny skinny bar. Teep. Adorable. 2. I rolled it 3 times. For 3, I rolled it also 3 times. Matching bar. Color it in so it kind of, you can tell the difference. You can use colors, highlighters, make it look nice, right? You can make it look nicer than mine for sure. And then 4, look at that. I actually didn't roll any for 4, so you might be thinking, what do I do there? Well, you don't do anything. You didn't roll 4 as a number, so you're not going to make a bar for it. In fact, the bar would just be 0. So it's going to stay on that axis. It's not going to rise up off of it, right? 5 would be 3. 3 was a popular rope number. Alright, you're starting to get the hint, right? Starting to get the idea. And of course, 6 was 4. It's going up to our max number. And I'll stop there because, again, I could sit here and do the whole thing, but I think you get it by now. So that's all your assignment is for today. Get a dice and ask your parents if they have any cool dice like this. They might have D&D, I call them D&D dice because that's what we use it for, is Dungeons and Dragons. Yes, I'm that type of person. But your parents might have some of these lying around too. And if not, you can find them online. 12-sided dice. Just remember, the more sides your dice has, the way more options that you're allowing in here, so you're not going to see as repeated frequency. See, had I just rolled like a simple 6-sided dice 25 times, I would have had a lot of repetition. I probably would have repeated the same number like 8 or 9 times. But because I had 12 numbers, I don't see as much. I can see it all spread out. Okay? Alright, that's it for today. Thank you for joining me, and I can't wait to see y'all's pictures. Make sure you upload them to Google Classroom. Alright, see y'all.